National 2021, what an incredible week, filled with great people, great cards, just great memories all around. Let's get right into the recap of all the fun that took place in my first trip to the National. Welcome to the most passionate content for card collectors on YouTube and possibly the whole entire internet. As usual, I am your host, Jake Roy, 90s BBall Cards here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, a little bit of TikTok. Definitely didn't have time to get to that this last week. So you might hear my voice is a little tired this last week. As it gets to the end of the week, I was starting to lose my voice, just days and days of talking. So hopefully I can hold out for this entire video, but we'll see how that goes. So you saw that my first day, my trip to the National, and kind of a little recap of the first day was posted a little bit later than Wednesday for sure. But so let's get right into how the National trip went. I'm going to kind of try to go through each day and recap it using the cards. But so you heard about the first day. So talking about some of the cards that we picked up on Wednesday, that sneak peek day, I was able to get in at about 11 a.m. with a media pass. I have it up there. So thank you to Ray from the National for helping me get that. Really appreciate that, bud. So some of the cards that I got in the dollar bins, I was hunting dollar bins. Mo Bamba status rookie. I just love Mo Bamba in the Magic in that jersey. You gotta love it. Jam Masters Mosaic of Dr. J. Love that. Brings me back to the NBA Jam days. I got an Optic Express Lane of Steph Curry. I love Steph, so for a buck, why not? 97-98 SP Authentic base card of Jordan. Love that picture. Love those shoes. Fun one there. I got the SP, or the short print rookie of Baron Davis from Skybox. I needed that one for the PC. Got the collector's choice parallel, the blue parallel of Jordan, so kind of his baseball rookie. A fun card for a buck. Getting a Jordan rookie, why not, right? So then I got some kind of fun cards that I just thought were neat. So I got a really cool Spectra die cut of Randall Cobb, who I love. And this one is numbered to 25. So just a really cool card, very thick. Something you don't see every day. And for a buck for one of my Packers that I love. There goes my voice. You know, I thought that would be a lot of fun. And another one of the Packers, Jonathan Franklin, Prism Gold rookie. I don't have any Prism Gold, so this was my first Prism Gold for a buck. Why not? And a running back, a rookie running back from my team. And I was actually looking at his story, kind of a tragic end to his career a little bit early. So a sad story, unfortunately, but a story to go along with that for my favorite team. I got the SPX Gold. This is kind of an XRC of KG, so one of those cards that is a parallel for a buck. Again, I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's a $10 card. A lot of these were phenomenal steals, really. The prices were too low in my estimation. So I got the Forcified of Vince Carter. This is the parallel version, and I need one of these for any time that we end up opening up some Flair Force. I didn't have any of those. Those are get to be kind of hard to come by because people look at those as almost refractors. The Parquet Players of KG. What an incredible picture. And again, an insert that I needed of KG for my PC. So that was great to get. 93-94 Ultra, famous nicknames, the Admiral. You can't go wrong with that one. I loved him as a kid. I love that one. There's a few players that I want to get in that set. Not a set I want to get the entire thing of. You probably saw my post about my first deal of the National with Shayway Vlogs. Shay and I met out in the lobby, and he said, let's just make a deal. I grabbed a bunch of Prism Greens from 2012, and he said, I want to take all those, so I wanted to keep one of them. The specific one I wanted to keep was the Rajon Rondo, because that green just looks really nice with a Celtics uniform. So I kept that one, sold the rest to him. You know, dollar bin deals, definitely, and he's got some room. I don't know what he ended up doing with them. Probably check it and see if he ended up making deals with those later on. So then I went to another booth that had some dollar bins. Only one card I picked up, but the Skyview Retrospective Collection of Penny. This is one, you know, we'll be opening these coming up soon. So those Hoops Decade packs, I did not have this Penny. I only had it of KG, so got to get that addition to my PC. So then to round out my pickups on Wednesday, and you saw in the post I was saying which one of these did not come in a dollar bin. So the answer for you is the Hoops 911 of Iverson, but this was still a deal. This was sitting in a showcase for a dealer. They had $40 on there. I asked him if I could get it for $35. He said he's firm at $40, which was fine with me because these things comp for $60 to $100. So it was a steal, and that's the name of the game. Getting into the National as early as possible. You can find deals if you know your cards, if you know the comps. You can find deals. There are deals. There's not a ton of them. They're not everywhere you turn around, but you can definitely find them if you know your stuff. So this was one that was a great deal for me, and I was really happy to get it. And these are really clean. I mean, the sleeve on these are usually pretty difficult with chipping and really specifically getting creases and bends in between those numbers. So getting a clean copy. I've got 2 of the Penny. Now I've got 1 of the Iverson, and those are my PC guys that I wanted to get in that set. So a great day on Wednesday, but the next day, Thursday, had way more surprises in store than I could have ever imagined. So got up early with the media pass. Again, I could get in at 8 a.m. So I would go in. I had the goal to make some content while I was in there in the morning. That didn't happen. It was just overwhelming, all of the stuff to look at. So went to my favorite spot with the dollar bins from MC Sports Cards, a guy from Massachusetts, so always wanted to check in with him every morning. So some more dollar bin dives that I got. So I got the 2000-2001 Upper Deck Silver of Lamar Odom, number to 100. So Lamar is my side PC. Always got to pick it up. $1 for a card number to 100 of a side PC guy. Why not? 97-98 SP Authentic Rookie of T-Mac. These are notorious for damage. This one is definitely damaged. That's why I was in the dollar bin. But one of those that I didn't get on Wednesday. I saw it. I passed on it. And then I decided I need to get that card. So went back. Luckily, it was still there. Then I got some football cards. So really cool hologram of Brett Favre there with a laser view. Then some nice Bowman's Best early years, 96 and 97. So here's one of Brett, and I love that he's got the retro jersey on the back side. Topps Chrome from 96 of Brett. So love that. And then another Topps Chrome of Brett as well. So great stuff there. And then another one, again, you can't say no to this in the dollar bin. So the 97 SPX, again, kind of like the KG, basically an XRC of Iverson, but for $1, I'll pick that up all day long. I absolutely adore that set. And obviously Iverson, one of those greats that I love. So then one of my friends that I met up with, Buccaneer Steven, he said that he found a great penny card he wasn't sure if I had, and sure enough, I didn't. So he brought me over to the booth. We ran over there, in fact, after we met up. So the first thing that I got there was the Authentics of Antoine Walker, one of those insert sets that I did not have one of. I was really happy because the dealer was also very upfront. These are pretty rare. Actually, they're extremely rare cards, and they're pretty valuable too, but this one was definitely a bankruptcy copy or one of those replacement copies that did not have the serial numbering. All of these ones that were packed out had hand-numbered serial numbering, so he told me, he's very upfront. I really appreciated that, so I got a good deal on that one, and that's one that I needed for the PC, of course. And then the card that Steven was telling me about was the Precious Metal from 96, 97 of Penny. I've been talking about this. I've been needing this. I've been missing out on it on eBay. It's been going too high. So, ironically, sitting down with a dealer, going through some stuff, I was asking him if he was open to trade. He said, sure, he'd take a look. That's usually what a lot of the dealers would say. Sure, I'll take a look. And they're a little apprehensive sometimes because they don't know what you're going to have in your bag, if it's just going to be junk, if it's going to be too high-end, all kinds of stuff. So you never know what you're going to get, just like Forrest Gump always said. We always like to say. So he looked through my bag and he pulled out the Rodman precious metals that I had and had picked up for a good deal, which is one of those things that you can definitely do with those precious metals because sometimes it is not easy to tell if you don't know what you're looking at. So people miss them, and sometimes you can pick them up for about the same price as a base card, and they definitely are significantly more rare. So he pulled that one out and he said, I'll tell you what, I don't want to move this penny, but I do want your Rodman. So as we're talking, he told me that he's trying to complete the whole precious metal set, which he knows is a lofty goal, but he has some of the top guys already, and he needs the Rodman, and because of that reason, he doesn't want to move the penny. And I wanted the penny, and I like the Rodman too, and I had it with me. I mean, really, when I picked that Rodman up, it was a placeholder for the penny, and I was saying, hopefully someday I can find somebody who has the penny and would trade me straight up. This seemed to be that guy, so I told him, look, I'm not moving that Rodman unless you're moving the penny. The penny is the card that's going to make my trip. So if you don't want to move that, then unfortunately, I'm not going to be willing to move the Dennis Rodman. So at that point, he said fine, reluctantly, and we made the deal. Sometimes you have to play a little bit of hardball and stand your ground. So while it would be nice to sell that Rodman, I wanted to get the PC card. I'll take the card over the cash because that's harder to come by. So that was really good to get those out of the way. And then there was a side of the show that I realized I hadn't even touched. So I knew where Justin 610 Sports Cards was going to be. And that was a different part of the show. I called it the Red Carpet District because I had some red carpet and better AC over there. It was a really nice, cool place most of the days. So I went over there, checked in with his booth, and was scrolling through some of the booths. And there was a booth from the folks who are putting on the Wisconsin Dells card show that had a ton of great 90s inserts. So went over there, and it was actually two groups of people. So some of the showcases were for one group and some were for the other, but they kind of worked together. So got a number of cards, and actually I did a trade with them, and what ended up happening is I picked out some penny cards that they had, and they picked out a bunch of cards that I had with me, and they gave me not only the penny cards that I wanted, but and a significant amount of cash on top of that, which was able to allow me to get a lot of other cards that I would not have otherwise been able to obtain, and we'll get more into those. Very exciting stuff. So the penny cards that I got at their booth, coincidentally, were all graded, which isn't something I necessarily seek out, but a PSA 7 of the one-of-a-kind Penny Hardaway. These are numbered to 150. This is a card I already have raw. It's not in good shape. I found it by chance at a card shop kind of locally, so definitely nice to get that. I mean, PSA 7 is not uncommon for these. Mine, I don't think would even get a PSA 7, so nice to get that, but having duplicates, then I can move it on to another penny collector if the time arises. So then the other one that I got was a SGC 9 of the electrifying penny. These are notorious for condition issues, so getting a 9, and honestly, I like the SGC slab. I know some people don't. I really do. This was the first SGC slab that I got into my collection, and I'm pretty happy about it. And then kind of a funny one, so I got the SGC 5 of the Triumvirate Illuminator. These are very rare cards. Very hard to find. Or I'm sorry, this is the Luminescent, not the Illuminator. The Illuminator is the top level. Very rare. These are very rare as well. They are very condition sensitive, as you can tell with the 5. I can't really see anything that sticks out. There's definitely a corner ding at one spot, but I can't see anything that really makes me say this is definitely a 5. But at the same time, I wouldn't be grading that because they are notorious for very bad condition issues because of all those die cuts and whatnot. So got those 3 and moved a ton of my stuff. So at that point, trading was a little bit more difficult with dealers because I did not have nearly as much, but I still had some of my top cards, luckily. So really cool to get those. And at that point, I thought my trip couldn't get any better because I already got that Grail piece with that precious metal, and then I also got those great penny cards as well. I mean, all the while, I'm meeting up with tons of people. Like I said, Stephen Buckenteer helping me find cards, Kyle Wax Museum helping me find cards, talking with the guys from Card Ladder, Grant Slayton. I mean, the list goes on. If I try to list all the names, I will definitely forget some people. People that I met up with on the first day, and just happened to be walking through. You might have seen the vlog from Sasha T. Was meeting up with him and chatting for a while. So lots of fun folks. So then we had trade night. Went over to Card Collector 2's trade night. Went a little bit later because I wanted to get some pizza. Had to get some Lou Malnati's, and it was definitely well worth it. But by the time I got to the trade night, it was packed. I mean, people talk about the show being overwhelming. This was way more overwhelming. You could barely walk through any of the aisles, if there were any. It was just packed to the gills. So myself and a friend, Frankie, decided we're not even going to waste our time trying to find people to trade with or the people that we know to hang out with, and we would just head up to the Blake Jameson trade night. So we got there early, which was fun. Sat down, we're both chopping it up, sharing some of the cards we brought, some of the PC stuff, telling stories, all kinds of fun. Then some more friends came. Jeff, Q-Coach ITB, came. A pleasure to meet him, and he had a little gift for me, which was awesome. So it was actually a pretty big gift, but the first thing was he got me the penny redemption of You Crashed the Game, which is one that I needed, the silver foil. Really cool. Love that. Really appreciate it, Jeff. And then he gave me a whole stack of cards for my PC. Penny, Iverson, a whole bunch of guys I love. Really love that give and take. That is one that I've always loved. Rookie season, something I think is a little bit underrated. Foil card, all that good stuff. So thank you, Jeff. And then a lot of those guys left, and I hung out a lot later. But before that, we made a couple deals. So then Kyle brought me this superscript of Matt Geiger in just the most beautiful case I've ever seen. So I'll have fun trying to crack that out. Thank you, Kyle. That will be an adventure. We'll see how that goes. And then also got the Holo Jam of Iverson from Kyle. And this is one that I do have a copy of, but this was in better shape. We know these are difficult for condition. We've talked about those. We opened a box of these and seen the Shaq and how that came out with a corner issue, which was typical, or is typical. So this would be in better shape is something I wanted to get as a little upgrade for my penny PC. So then at the trade, well, actually, I'm sorry. Before all the trade nights, we were with the Card Ladder team when they went on to the main stage. You know, we were there. A bunch of us were hanging out, just listening to them, supporting them, and also kind of ended up treating us kind of a little impromptu get-together. So while there, you might have seen me post, I met up with Card Killer, and he presented me with this really incredible, unique coffin box with his logo on it. Really cool, but that's not all. You open up and just the most beautiful penny card that he custom made for me with my logo on it. I was blown away when he pulled this out. I had no idea he had this coming, and I was just, I mean, it's the most beautiful card that I saw at the entire show. Obviously, it's not a pack pulled card or anything like that, but that is just an absolutely stunning piece that I'm going to have on display up behind me for years to come. I mean, just an incredible gift, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Card Killer, for all that you do, for giving us something for our imaginations to dream about, and thank you for that gift. Really, really appreciate it. So then we went to the Blake Jameson trade night. Bean Card Balls was putting, or Beantown Card, sorry, buddy. Beantown Cards was putting that on, along with a few other folks, and it was a blast to meet Blake, to meet F. Dot, to see some of the art. It gave us some art cards as well. So here's one. Kind of reminds me of the Keith Shore Griffey rookie that kind of blew up Project 2020, which is funny. And then a couple of Project 2020 cards, both of mine coincidentally ended up being Blake Jameson masterpieces, so great to get those. Really fun. And then he surprised me with a special gift. I did take it out of the box, but one of these little guys, and ironically that day I was looking at these and saying, oh, those would be cool to have behind me, and then he surprised me with one, so now I'm going to have this behind me as a display. So the Zion, really cool one. I was wondering which player I would like to get most, and I was debating between Zion and a couple other players, so now I've got the Zion, and I am pumped for that. So thank you very much for that very generous gift. Really cool event, and we were there way too late, chatting, you know, Carvin, hearing some of his incredible knowledge about the hobby, chatting with Adam Lefko. Really always a high energy, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs with Lefko. Cage, Lawyer from the Lucre Tiger Bronze podcast, and Yamwax. An incredible crew to be sitting there with. Peter Pacman, if you haven't checked out his hobby-related music, a lot of fun chatting with him. Cardi C, after seeing him in the airport, finally got a chance to meet up with him again. And a bunch of other guys. I know I'm missing some folks, but a blast. And by the time we looked at our clocks, we were like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, where is all the time gone? So we went to bed too late, did not get enough sleep, and that was par for the course for the entire trip. In all honesty, I was averaging about 3 hours of sleep each night, so I was exhausted, but at the same time just running high on adrenaline, just having a blast, meeting everybody, running around the show floor, treasure hunting. I mean, I was not tired in the physical sense. I mean, obviously my feet hurt, my back hurt, all that kind of stuff, but I was just ready to go the full time. So getting a little bit of sleep was enough for me to keep going. Water bottles, you know, were always empty by the end of the day. So definitely, if you're going to National, bring plenty of water, bring some snacks, all that good stuff. So that was Thursday, and it was a blast. And at that point, I thought I had already gotten my grail piece of the day, or of the show, but there was plenty more left to come. So, of course, the first thing I had to do is go to my dollar bin guy. And unfortunately, there wasn't anything I found. But then I went to another dollar bin, and one of our friends said, hey, you need to come over here right now. So we ran, and got a whole stack. I'm not going to go through all of these because we're getting pretty lengthy and we're only on the third day of the trip, but got a stack of cards. This was a dollar bin that this guy had just bought from a collector, just like their whole collection. It had not been gone through yet, so it was a blast to go through there for the first time. There were some cards that he pulled out that he didn't want to trade or sell after we had seen them, you know, which is fair, because at that point it was all brand new territory for all of us. So a lot of fun going through that again, treasure hunting. And then I met up with just the most incredible Glen Rice collector you'll ever find. So Michael, and you know, I found out that he had a very special piece with him, a penny card that is one of a kind, truly, and extremely rare. So trying to meet up with him, and unfortunately kept missing him. You know, it seemed like forever, and I'm probably mixing up my days, but it seems like it was Thursday or Friday that I must have been meeting up. And luckily finally met up with him, and what he had with him was the classic 61 penny, numbered to 61, but that's not it. It was numbered 1 of 61, so the jersey numbered the first in the print run. An extraordinarily rare card, so we were able to strike a deal. Very happy to get that in my collection, and that was just after, actually, so now that I'm thinking about it, that was Thursday. That was just after getting that precious metal of penny. So I had thought that I had the card of my show with that precious metal penny, and then this number 1 of 61 shows up in my hands, able to close a deal. So now I'm blown away, and I'm like, well, I could just go home happy because I've gotten 2 Grail pieces. So then, yeah, so Friday comes, he shares with us that there's these dollar boxes to go through. We go through the dollar boxes, and then meet up with some other penny collectors. So we all met up at the card ladder booth, because Josh was there with all of his penny stuff. So decided to all go sit down and look through some cards for trade. So sitting down, looking through all these Grail pieces, you know, one of the best penny collections ever. 3 boxes full of just penny Grails. I'm just pulling out card after card after card that I just have dreamt of all my entire life. And luckily I had some penny cards to move as well that he needed. So one of those cards, unfortunately, had to be the classic 61 that I had just gotten the day before. But when you see what I got, it'll probably make sense. You might not agree with the trade, but I'm definitely very happy with it. So sometimes, you know, those Grail pieces move quickly. So I had that in my possession for about 24 hours before I moved it. There goes my voice again. So the cards that I got, starting out with the 98-99 Platinum Medallion of Penny. So this is numbered to 99. Just an incredible card that I very rarely, if ever, have seen this come up for auction. So not a significant serial number, but a great piece to get, a very rare piece. 97-98 Flair Showcase Row 0. These are numbered to 250. Now, the Legacies are numbered to 100. So these sell for just a hair under the price of the Legacies. And this is one that I've always just admired. This is just a gorgeous card. So very happy to get that. The other one, you know, my favorite refractor ever, 97-98 Flair Showcase, or Flair Showcase on the mind. Topps Finest, silver embossed. So you've got that mosaic pattern on the front and the embossing of penny. Then you've got the mosaic pattern on the back as well. And these are numbered to 263. So just incredibly rare cards. I've been looking for this for years. I've been missing it every time it comes up. It doesn't come up too often. Was able to get that in the trade. Then I was also able to get an all-time great set, fairly well-centered, 96-97 Topps Chrome Refractor of Penny. This is one that I just keep missing, just barely. And this is not very green. Got to keep that out of the light so it stays that way. And then the Grail piece. I mean, this has been, for my entire life, collecting one of my top 5 Grail cards that I've dreamt of. I have been like hoping to get, but I've always thought it's never going to be attainable for me. And today, or that day, it was. It is the 97-98 Jambalaya EX 2001, and it's in a BGS 9. He had multiple copies, and let me pick which one I wanted for the grades. And this one was the one that I decided to go with. 295s, 110, and an 8.5. But the 110 is on corners because there are no corners on this card, so that's always going to be a 10. Just an absolutely gorgeous card. I was just blown away that I was able to get this in my collection. Unfortunately, having to move that 1 of 61 to do it, but you know, if I could have done it without moving that card, I definitely would have, but I couldn't. And this was higher on my priority list. And whenever I bring a card home and I show my wife and she says, "Wow, that's a beautiful card," and she's not just placating me, I know I did well. So she was really happy to see that card, was blown away by how beautiful it was, as is just about everybody that sees it. So just a gorgeous card, very happy to get that. But that wasn't all. We weren't done. So on Friday, later on, going through some booths, found another booth that I had not seen yet over by the Case Breaker Pavilion, another undiscovered area that I had been missing for the first couple of days, and had a few pennies. He was a big fan of the 90s, so was able to get the BMOC 97-98, which was coincidentally very fortunate for me, because earlier in one of the deals, I moved the 97-98 BMOC of KG. So that meant I didn't have any of the 3 PC guys of the BMOC. So getting this penny, obviously he's the #1 priority. So now I have a BMOC again. So I was only 24 hours without one of those in my collection. Very happy to have gotten the penny to make it. And then walking around, found another booth that had, you know, an old guy from Tennessee. Talking to him about Peyton Manning was a lot of fun. And he had this sitting there. And he gave it to me for $1, and I said, absolutely, I will take that. And I'm going to throw that in my background. I'm going to pop it open. That's a lot of fun, that Dennis Rodman figure with the green hair. They have a lot of different variations with different colored hair. They have the red jersey and the white jersey of Rodman. Some of them are very rare. I have no idea which is which. If you know, please let me know down in the comments which are the rare ones. I would love to learn about those because I love those headliners. Those are so much fun. So then I go to some dollar bins to close out the night with Kyle, Wax Museum Podcast. We're just going through, thumbing through this this dollar bin. So what did I get? Some baseball cards. Weird for me to get, right? So diamond cuts from Flair Showcase of Manny Ramirez, a $1 card. This is gorgeous, 90s die cut, unbelievable. I've been seeing these pop up on Instagram and on eBay and stuff like that, and I've been gawking at how beautiful they are. And I said, I've got to get one of a player that I like in my collection. So Manny Ramirez is the guy I have some fond memories of. Then found these 2 cards, or Kyle did anyway, that are like a credit card. So I got the Cal Ripken, very cool card, and it's a gold parallel, so it's a little bit more rare, but you know, in boss numbers, I mean, it's just like a credit card. It's obviously a modern day credit card. You have the chip, these don't, but they do have kind of a little hologram. So and then I got the Barry Bonds as well, so really cool stuff there for $1. Then found the 95-96 Beam Team members only of Cedric Sabalas. Really cool. Love those die cuts. Just absolutely gorgeous. And the members only are a little bit harder to come by as well. Then I also got the Black Avent of Baron Davis. These are numbered to 199. Really, you know, pretty neat looking cards there with the black and white and stuff like that. There's a lot of different variations. And then a very nostalgic card for me from Sportflix. So Hammer Time, or Hammer Team, I think it was playing on Hammer Time, of Ken Griffey. My brother and I had one of these. I can't remember which player we had as kids. Probably not anyone of consequence, but Ken Griffey doesn't get any more 90s than that. So that was a blast to pick those up with Kyle. And then walking out, we saw somebody get arrested for stealing. There was, you know, some security stuff going on, but the security at the show was phenomenal. They were right on top of that and any other issues. And there weren't many, but there always are some. And the security was right on top of it. There were some plainclothes guys, some uniform guys. So you knew that you were going to be safe going around there, which was a relief with how many people were there. So then the next day came Saturday, and Kyle had told me that there were some jumbo pennies that I've been looking for, so I picked those up. I found that there were 2 of them. I picked 2 of them up because if there's a penny guy that needs one, I can move one to him. And it was a pretty light day for pickups because I've already picked up, I mean, just dozens of grails. And then Teapots, who you might know from Market Movers, and also his Drummond collection. So he's got Teapots and the Drummond Collector IG accounts. Told me about the 99 2000 SPX auto of Baron Davis. He knows I love Baron Davis. He saw this, and I can't believe he found it because it was in a case that was not well organized. It was really hidden. So he somehow just happened to catch his I, and he knew I would like it, so he hit me up and let me know where it was, and I was able the next day to go find it and make a deal with the dealer there. So that brings us to Sunday. Everything's winding down at this point, and I had to make some last minute changes to my flight, so I was going to be leaving a little bit earlier than expected. But at this point, I mean, there's not a lot that I haven't seen. Some of the booths are changing over. I did see some penny kabooms I was trying to make some deals on, but the dealers weren't looking to do trades. As the week goes on, they're more looking at getting some cash for these cards because they don't want to bring more stuff home, and I totally get that. So found 3 penny kabooms. That's definitely one on my short list of modern cards that I want of penny. Was not able to close a deal on any of those 3, but you know, when the time's right, I will. But what I was able to find for once was some wax. So I had seen a booth that had some of the retail jumbo packs of 98, 99 Skybox Thunder, and I took down the booth number and I said I'll come back tomorrow and take a look at them. Sure enough, they were gone. So I talked to the guy and I said, well, maybe they're just behind the booth, and he's holding them back for some reason, and they weren't. He told me that they were sold, and the person pulled a Jordan Boss out of those, so very good pull out of those, but his price was pretty high. He wanted $60 per pack. They were, you know, they have 2 packs just like the value packs today. So that was a little rich for my blood for those, because those also are notorious for bricking. Even pulling that Jordan, still not something I would want for all those packs. So that's all right. What he did have, though, was he had one more loose retail pack sitting back there. We were able to do a deal, get this for a good price, because he felt bad that I missed out on the other one. So we'll rip this at some point. Not sure exactly when we'll do that, but stay tuned for that. And then another dealer, as I was walking out, had 3 packs of Topps and Boss 94.95. So again, this is a video you can look forward to coming soon. I've got a couple other packs. We'll put those all together, looking for the Jordan Gold, and that will round out what I picked up at the show. You know, so again, trying to use that as kind of like my day-to-day reminders. But overall, the show was absolutely incredible. It was everything I could have asked for and more. I ran into a ton of guys. I named some of them. Eric, those back pages. Andy, she blinded me with the refractors. A couple others. Again, I'm missing so many people. It was absolutely phenomenal meeting everybody. Ryan, Card Collector 2, and his wife Regina, Lou Janu and the team over there with 136, I think 137. Don't know the numbers. Anyway, so it was a blast meeting everybody, sitting down, chatting, learning a little bit from them. You know, and the crowds, everybody keeps talking about the crowds were you know, way more than they've ever seen before. It was more crowded than they've ever seen, so on and so forth. You know the drill. And in my perspective, it was definitely very busy. It was way busier than any local card show I've been to, but it wasn't any more busy than I think I had prepared myself mentally for. You know, there were plenty of times that I would be at a booth, I would see a card I liked, and I wanted to inquire about it, and I'd have to wait. Maybe 1 or 2 collectors, you know, were there before me, and I had to wait my turn, and that's totally fine. But that's not uncommon for any card show. I mean, I've been to plenty of card shows, and there's 2 people at the booth. I'm the second person, and I have to wait, and I'm just sitting there, you know, scoping out the other cards while I'm waiting to talk about the card that I'm interested in. So sometimes waiting was a little bit longer, and at times also I would see booths that were just backed up. I mean, it wasn't uncommon to see certain booths that were 5 people deep. And in those cases, I would just avoid those, mark them down, and I would loop back around and see them when they were a little bit slower. And sometimes those 5 people were just a group of friends that were all there, and it wasn't each individual person wanted to look at a card. It was one person wanted to look at a card, and then once they, you know, did a deal or whatever, they would all move on, and then you could slide in and check out whatever you wanted. So, you know, again, it was busy. It was packed. It was, you know, with all the health issues going on around, it was one of those things everybody's trying to be as safe as possible, but definitely crowded. Interested to see what AC will be like next year. I would say about 80% sure right now that I'll be going to that, but who knows what might happen. It's a full year away, but we're already planning. I think Eric from those back pages says aim for AC is the hashtag that he likes to use for that. So that's what we're going to do this coming year. And, you know, one of the things that I was slacking on that next year I want to do more of is taking pictures with people. All the people, like I said, that I'm meeting. You know, Rodman from Rodman's PC came all the way from Honduras, you know, meeting up with him and checking out what he's got. you know, again, the list just goes on, and I didn't take pictures with half of the people. I took a couple pictures with a few folks. John Newman from Sports Card Nation. I was able to get a picture with Dr. Beckett right at the end, just as I was about to leave. You know, so a blast to see everybody. Eric Norton from Beckett, chatting with him on Sunday again, right before I was going to leave. You know, that's what it's all about, is meeting everybody, hanging out, seeing these people that we interact with all year, sometimes every day or every week, and then finally getting to see them in person is, you know, what it's all about. The cards are just, you know, the cherry on top, and I was very fortunate to get multiple grails for my penny PC, but that's not what I was expecting. Like I said, if I just got the precious metal, that would have been more than I could have asked for, but instead I got a top 5 card for my PC. You know, so needless to say, my penny PC top 10 is going to look very different in the coming weeks. My overall top 10, when I do that next year, or if I do it before the end of the year, is going to look very different as well. So incredible additions, and they were primarily made through dollar boxes and trades. Some of the trades with dealers and some of the trades with other collectors. So I mean, that's the type of stuff that I just enjoy. I love going through dollar boxes, and I love making trades. So I had a blast. I couldn't have asked for any more fun. And everybody that I didn't mention, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mention you, but I genuinely enjoyed every minute that I spent with everyone. So it was the time of my life, and I can't wait for it to come again. So question of the day for you, though, as we're wrapping up. I noticed that over the last week, when I have had my head buried in the National, all of a sudden this channel has grown to 3,000 subscribers. I am floored by this. I cannot say thank you enough for coming and watching for the last 3+ years, week after week, as we go through packs and cards and all kinds of fun stories. So thank you so much. But I'm going to throw the question to you. What should we do to celebrate? I want to do something to celebrate this momentous occasion. So let me know your thoughts. Unfortunately, I hadn't prepared and thought about this in advance. I should have. But I want to know what you would like to see us do to celebrate that and say thank you in a more practical way. So drop your thoughts down in the comments. If you don't want to do it publicly, send me a DM and let me know what you're thinking. And we, in the coming weeks, will definitely do something to say thank you and celebrate. And I can't even imagine what's going to come, because when I started this channel, I thought 1,000 subscribers was a lot to ask for, and something that might not ever happen. So 3,000. I just can't believe it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm very appreciative, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. We don't have any signs of slowing down, because this is a blast. As long as it's fun, we're going to keep doing it. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing and be one of the next 4,000 people to be subscribed here. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any videos in the future. New videos always dropping on Wednesdays, as long as my schedule can permit it. Bonus content dropping on Fridays, as long as my schedule can permit it. And that is all for today. Thanks. We'll talk later. Bye.